quiet villages of Romania, long before modern stories of vampires, people feared something far more real. Not creatures hiding in castles, not monsters dressed in black, but something much closer, something that could live among them. They were called the Strigoi. And, unlike the vampires you see in movies, the Strigoi were not always dead. Some were born. From the very beginning, there were signs. A child born with a caul, or with strange marks on their body, was sometimes believed to be different. Watched closely, whispered about, because people feared that one day that child might return, not as a person, but as something else. In Romanian folklore, the Strigoi were restless spirits, souls that could not find peace, but they were also something more disturbing. They could rise from the grave, not in dramatic fashion, but slowly, quietly, as if the earth itself had never held them. At first, nothing seemed wrong, but then, small things would begin to happen. Animals would grow restless at night. Dogs would bark at empty spaces. Horses would refuse to move. And inside the village, people would begin to feel it. A heaviness. An unease. As if something unseen was walking among them. Then came the dreams. Villagers would wake in the night, unable to move, unable to speak. They would feel a presence in the room, watching, waiting, and sometimes sitting on their chest, draining their strength, breath by breath. This was not just fear. It was believed that the Strigoi fed on the living, not always with blood, but with energy, life, and the more it fed, the stronger it became. There are stories of entire families growing weak, night after night, until one by one, they began to die. No wounds, no illness, just gone. And when villagers began to suspect the truth, they did something unthinkable. They opened graves under the cover of darkness. With fear in their hearts, they would dig. And sometimes, what they found was worse than death. Bodies that had not decayed, skin still pale, almost alive, sometimes even with blood at the mouth, proof, they believed, that the Strigoi had returned. To stop it, they performed rituals, ancient ones, a wooden stake through the heart, garlic placed around the body, and, in some cases, the heart itself removed and burned. But the most disturbing part was not the dead. It was the living. Because not all Strigoi began in the grave. Some walked among people every day. They looked normal, spoke normally, lived normal lives. But something about them felt wrong, colder, distant, as if they were not fully human. Men. Some legends say these living Strigoi could leave their bodies at night, their spirit wandering, feeding, returning before dawn, and no one would ever know until it was too late. Even today, in some remote villages, old traditions remain. Mirrors are covered after death. Candles are kept burning through the night, and the dead are never left alone. Because the fear has never truly disappeared. The fear that something might come back. Not as it was, but as something else. Something hungry. So, when you hear stories about vampires, remember this. They began as warnings. Because the most terrifying thing is not the monster in the grave. It's the one standing right next to you, smiling and waiting.